Hello, how in a day? Waiting to happen. I beg making a clap. I need energy on this stage. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about how FactsMatterNG is using Pidgin language to reach young people and underserved audiences in Africa. We know that everywhere in West Africa, people are talking, debating and sharing information. It is a vibrant space. And most time, the language of communication is Pidgin. So some fascinating fact about Pidgin English. Pidgin is a lingua franca that is born from slavery and colonial trade. At the moment, it has like over 75 million speakers in Nigeria, in Ghana, Sierra Leone, and some other countries in West Africa. And we know that it's a language that transcends ethnic and educational barriers. And one of the fascinating facts for the adoption of Pidgin English as a medium of communication, both in formal and informal spaces, is the fact that, of course, people can easily use it, but again, the fact that it's a language that uses the cultural nuances of people. And in 2017, the BBC launched a Pidgin English service, and that's kind of validated the use of Pidgin as a language of communication in the media spaces. So at FactsMatterNG, we are proving that Pidgin English can empower online communities. We have seen that it is a vital tool that we can use to build media literacy and develop news judgment, especially when we are trying to reach young and underserved audiences. And one other thing that I would like to mention is that the rise in the adoption of Pidgin English can be related to the shifts in the demography in West Africa, where over like 63% of the people in West Africa are young people below the ages of 25. False information, we know that false information is often debunked in official languages, leaving many people behind. There are like over 2,000 languages in Africa. And sometimes people consume news in local languages. We have a thriving media landscape in Nigeria, where you have news in Yoruba, Hausa, and the rest. But sometimes you don't have fact-checking or media literacy content in those local languages. So we are leaving a larger percentage of the population behind. And when you proceed to see that misinformation in the way it is packaged and disseminated is emotional. Like it touches the cultural beliefs of the people. And we believe for you to be able to counter this information, we also need to key into this culture and key into the emotional aspect of how you can distribute verified information. And Pidgin is quite helpful in being able to pass that message across. So the key question that has been like a challenge for fact checkers across the continent is, how do we make credible content engaging and accessible to the people who need it most? Many people that I've met will tell me, especially young people, they'll be like, fact checking is boring. So how do you want to make it interesting? So for us, this is some of the things that we have tried. We've created Pidgin content that has helped to simplify complex national issues, issues around renewable energy and like compressed natural gas. We've been able to use Pidgin English to break that down. We've used Pidgin English to produce content, talking to Nigerians and educating Nigerians about the debt per capita for each person. And we've been able to also produce Pidgin English content talking about hard topic like VAT, like value-added tax. And most times when we see the comments and the reaction from people, we can really say that this is a very tangible means of breaking, simplifying hard news, and making content that will otherwise appear boring to be much more interesting. So what has been the result? We've seen like a greater engagement on our social media platforms. We've seen wider reach, and by the testimonies of the people that consume our content, we can say indeed that we are building a stronger resistance to falsehood and disinformation. So When building up on what I said about some of the impact of our content and how we are reaching people, Pidgin English is actually viable for reaching millions across social media platforms in Nigeria. And we can see that using that language as a means to publish fact-checking, civic explainers, and media literacy content is helping to build the critical skills of people so that they can analyze information before they believe. And again, we are seeing a growing demand for fact-checking in local languages, proving that beyond Pidgin, we can also use Hausa language, we can use Yoruba language, another popular language in West Africa, to debunk disinformation and build the news judgment of people. And you can see from some of our comments here, people talking about, oh, this has helped to break disinformation down, and just speaking the language of the people so that they can better relate to the information and the ideas that you are trying to sell. So what is the future for us for Fact Matter regarding the use of Pidgin to debunk disinformation? We can say that the future of West Africa's information ecosystem would be written and spoken in the people's language. So enough of, using English or other official languages most of the time. Now we want to use Pidgin because we can see that even in the entertainment sector, even in official engagement or non-official engagement, there is a rising adoption of this language. Like I said earlier, it transcends ethnic and educational barriers. So it's a language that people are happy and free to adopt. And we can see that local language builds trust, because trust is the foundation of truth. And in this age where, there's a lot about foreign disinformation, the influence of foreign disinformation, and people usually do not trust the legacy media platforms, using Pidgin English or other local languages is a sure way to build trust with the audience. And I'll say that Pidgin English is not just a slang, it is a powerful tool for media literacy and civic engagement. And our work at Fact Matter has proved that, and going into the future, we want to invest a lot and push that message and means of communication forward. Okay, so my final thought is that the triumph of Pidgin English lies not in, it lies in the resistance to elitism. Like I said before, there's a distrust for legacy media platform. There's a distrust for anything signifying maybe elitism or Western foreign interests. So by transforming, saying maybe like a Pidgin word like how you day, from casual greeting to a rallying cry for accountability, then we can weaponize linguistic intimacy against digital falsehood. And this is a call to action for everyone here. If you are working in the line of country disinformation, this is something that you should think about. How do you want to reach people in the language that they understand, in a language that they can relate to? So thank you very much, and I hope to maybe further the conversations. So please, join our Bonga movement as we help people with better information. Thank you.